Well, I'm really glad that no one I respect could hear the words coming out of my mouth during Saturday night's game.
Were they
I
all four letters? Did they
A
start
lot of
with
them were.
letters like F and S? Okay,
Oh
good,
yeah,
good, good. Okay.
lots
I
of
was
good
gonna say
ones.
Farfanugan.
Yeah.
that has a lot more than four letters.
It's I felt like I was gonna throw up at many points in it, and even texted several people at that point. Oof. Okay, where to begin? We'll start with the quarterback situation, because I feel like that's where a lot of people are put in their camp. After week one, Jalen Milroe was obviously the kind of talk of the team after we had the victory over Middle Tennessee. And rightfully so, he had an incredible performance against a very small opponent. That progress that I think Alabama fans felt from him kind of halted on Saturday. Not to say that he hasn't made progress, but it felt as though the struggles that he experienced last year started to resurface. A lot of that calm and control that we saw in the Middle Tennessee game that we didn't see last year, I felt started to come to the forefront, and it was a little concerning. There were two bad interceptions. We honestly probably could have ended up with a few more interceptions than what we did had people been paying attention or really kept their hands on things. I don't think it was all his fault. I think people need to maybe pump the brakes a little bit on how terrible he is. I think he's an incredible athlete. And I think that a lot of the issues also come from our offensive line, which is an offensive line that is bigger than 99% of the NFL's offensive lines, from weight and height. And their inability to hold the line and to actually dominate the line of scrimmage made it so that he was getting sacked. He was getting so much pressure. And in his third start this season, going into his third start, that's not good. He can't get banged up, but he needs time to settle. And when he's not getting protection, that's not going to help him settle. I think we saw that Coach Saban said he had considered replacing Milroe during the game, but that he ultimately decided that things probably wouldn't be any different with Tyler Buckner or Ty Simpson in the game. But I am interested to see if at any point they start to get that chance. I was seeing on Instagram a lot of accounts posting that it looked like Tyler Buckner might be the favorite going into this week. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm not sure how to feel about it. Milroe gave me a lot of stress this past weekend, but a lot of people on the team gave me a lot of stress as well. And I think we're starting to see, as Alabama fans, just how incredible Bryce Young was. Because he is the reason that we were able to win last year. And he's the reason that we probably only had 2 losses last year. I don't know without Bryce Young if we would have only been at 2 losses. And I don't know this year how many we'll have. So I will say that now, Bama fans, Bama faithful, it may not be over, but it doesn't mean that our program's dismantling and everything's over. We're still a wonderful program. We still have so much talent, but we have gotten so used to going from Jalen Hurts to Tua Tagovailoa to Mac Jones to Bryce Young. And we have to understand that not every quarterback is going to be those young men and have their caliber or work within our program well, or have the assets around them so that they can rise to that level. I also think that our defense just wasn't accountable. Our offensive line wasn't accountable. We preached so much in the offseason that we were going to play hard-nosed, joyless murder ball. And we have not been playing joyless murder ball, much to my dismay. We were bullied by Texas offensively and defensively. Every single time our running backs got the ball, they were snuffed, swallowed up immediately. And then we allowed Milroe to get sacked 5 times, and we didn't touch their quarterback. That's not joyless murder ball. I know joyless murder ball. That's not joyless murder ball.
Joyless for someone.
Yeah, it was joyless for me. It was maybe it was joyless murder ball because I was joyless and we were getting murdered with the ball.
We need to be
Um,
specific with the joyless.
Yeah, you need to clear that up a little bit.
yeah, I was not happy. And then for a team in a program that has historically forced turnovers and scored a lot on defense, we have not been doing that. We have not put pressure on quarterbacks like we should have. And we have not forced that many turnovers, or if there has been any sort of turnover, we're not going to capitalize on it. So for me, it was a very, very ugly look for Alabama. And we have preached so much of turning around what was last season that we better start turning around this season. And we looked very unprepared. Congratulations to Coach Sark, because he called an incredible game. He outcoached us for sure. And it was easy to see their quarterback did an incredible job. He really did. And their line, both offensive and defensive line, didn't give us an inch. So honestly, Texas came in there. They did work in a very difficult place to play with over 101,000 people screaming at them at night. And they deserve to win. We did not deserve to win that ball game, and we did not.
Real quick before we go to Matt, coordinators, articles of food. What are they this week?
They're not the Great Buffalo Chicken. I'm not going to say that they're terrible, because at the end of the day, offensively, it's tough because we ran the ball so much and we were getting snuffed, but we couldn't throw the ball because we were throwing interceptions. We got to do something with it. And our offensive line wasn't helping us out. So there's only so many things you can do, so many plays you can call as a coordinator. At the end of the day, those guys on the field have to execute what you call. And if they're not executing anything, I don't know what you call. So for me, I feel like, honestly, everybody this week is just like a bowl of cereal, like a bowl of life cereal.
Okay.
That's it.
Little.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's known to you. It's you know it, and you're like, okay,
It'll get you through the
you'll
day.
eat it.
No, it won't. That cereal's awful.
I don't know. And this just feels like life. This is a life lesson. We're all a bowl of cereal.
I hear you. Life lesson. I love it.